Strip clubs aren't really my thing. Mad love to all the dancers, get that money. Boys be in there making it rain, but it's partly cloudy with a chance of scattered showers with me. Trash the Piece Theater, the awkward strip club stories. The last few times I've been to the strip club has been with my homie and fellow poet and tour mate. I don't want airing him out, so I ain't gonna use his real name. We'll just call him Mush Jike. The first time was in Miami. After a successful show, Mush Jike linked up with one of his homies in South Beach. We chilled for a bit there and then they talked about heading to this spot I assumed was a casino. It ended up being King of Diamonds. Who knew King of Diamonds was a strip club? Apparently everyone except my goofy ass. KOD was insane. The pole reached up to the heavens and I just assumed that either angels be getting lap dances sometimes or those dancers descended from the heavens to give us glorious pole dancing magic. The whole time everybody was in there having fun and throwing bands in the air, my dumbass just kept admiring the dancers' core strength descending down a 4-story pole. I guess this one John could tell I was overthinking shit, so she just dead ass tackled me in the booth and started gyrating on me. I'm not sure what happened after that. I just know I ended up at the ATM with a smile on my face. The very next night we had a show in Atlanta and ended up going to Magic City. I knew what that was thanks to Yin Yang Twins. There were 2 takeaways from that night. 1, that John looked like every strip club I went to in Philly. And 2, I really am an old ass, awkward ass, corny ass man. I'm not sure how, but this one woman went from offering me a dance to taking a flyer to our show and then sharing some of her poetry with me. The last time was also in Miami. I ended up tipping this dancer just to talk to me. She couldn't dance for shit, but she had this heavy ass Brazilian accent. Like, sweetie, ain't no need to try to struggle twerk. Just read the alphabet to me and take my money. In my defense, I was a 6'5", 15-year-old, so I was getting in bars and strip clubs as a teen. And maybe that's why I have no desire to go now. I just kinda got burnt out. Or, I'm just awkward. Picture it, Philly, mid-90s. I was a tall, popular by association, thug-adjacent, average at best basketball player. I just transferred back to Philly to play ball at Gratz as an 11th grader. In my first day in homeroom, I see this bad John. I used to be quiet, so I did not lay my game down quite flat. Her name was Rocco. And she deadass didn't speak to me until I made the basketball team, which made me popular adjacent. She congratulated me and I decided to take my newfound popularity out for a spin and try to bag. It wasn't awkward between me and Raquel though. I mean it was, but she wasn't a dick about curving me with the strength of the Greek goddess a fuck outta Hera. She was nice to me. We chatted every morning. She even introduced me to her mama one day when I saw them outside the school. Now Rock was fine, and she stayed in the flyest Guess jeans and DKNY shirts. Her mama though was grown woman fine, like fur coat and Lexus coupe confidence fine, like grown woman body fine. She called me handsome, which sent my confidence through the roof. So much so that I decided to see if my confidence, height, and my newfound place in the hood hierarchy could get me into local strip clubs. I hit the ground running and went to the most ratchet-tastic strip club in the history of strip clubs, Fox Valley. The first and only time I went was with my homie Manny. Now, I had heard stories about Fox Valley and I thought I was ready. I wasn't. We walked in and Manny was in heaven. Me, not so much. My goofy, awkward, still a virgin self was uncomfortable. It felt like as soon as you walked through the door, you got hepatitis. It felt like I should have put on a condom just to look at what was happening. The owners of that fine establishment clearly didn't give 2 shits about city regulations, or health codes, or anything. There was actual sex occurring out in the open. I never felt more like a prude in my life. Manny could clearly see I was uncomfortable. Chill, nigga. All this scatter ass and you sitting there looking like a bitch? The fuck is wrong with you? My goofy ass was like, bro, I feel like if the Armageddon happened right now, I'd go to hell for just being in here. When I say this nigga gave me the straight face, pivoted, walked back out the door, drove me back to the block without saying a word to me, dropped me off and went back by himself. Clearly, Fox Valley wasn't meant for me. But that ain't mean I was gonna give up. A few weeks later, me and Bruce decided to try this other spot called Texas Lounge. We walked squad deep with the rest of our niggas from the block to the spot. After we went to Rite Aid to use their free cologne samples, of course. We got to Texas Lounge and most of us got turned away. I was 16 and tall as fuck and the bouncer knew Paridi, so I got in. Bruce was 14 and he was an old spirit. I mean, that nigga been 45 since we was 11, so he got in. And Manny had a reputation for shooting niggas, so naturally he got in. The rest of the squad had to go home smelling like free cool water cologne and disappointment. So in Texas Lounge, me and Bruce was chilling, but Manny was being his wild ass self, of course. It was popping, but it wasn't like sex out in the open, so I ain't feel like, I would go to hell immediately for being in there. Purgatory at worst. Back then, lap dances was $5, and I had a $25 budget. But with that, I still managed to get 5 quality dances. And as I was trying to make my insufficient funds stretched, I noticed this badass old head walking by. But when I pried my eyes off her body, I recognized her face. It was Raquel's fine ass mama, and she recognized me too. Mr. Honor Roll, I thought you was a good boy. My goof troop ass couldn't muster any other response than, tell Raquel I said hi. Rock's mom just made an eye gesture, then quick looked the other way. So naturally, we all looked in the directions her eyes went. It was Raquel, on stage. She saw me and she finished the song, darted off stage. I got up, told my niggas it was time to leave. On the walk home, I made them promise not to tell anybody what we saw. Manny was like, man, fuck y'all. But Bruce understood that we could really mess up her reputation. It took the entire walk home to convince Manny, but it was a pact we made and kept. We ain't even tell nobody in the squad. That Monday, it was awkward as hell. She just stared ahead while I walked in. I sat down and leaned over and was like, yo, I ain't gonna tell nobody. Told her Bruce and Manny said they wasn't gonna tell nobody either. She started to look relieved. I mean, shit was still awkward though, because I was a young, virile, and still budding fuckboy, so naturally there was still times I pictured her naked in class and in the halls. But I was pretty good at not letting her know that, I think. Yeah, probably not. I wasn't smooth at all. To Bruce and Manny's credit, they never said anything to anyone. What's crazy is, she wasn't the only person in the strip club we had to keep a secret for. Thank you so much for watching Trash the Piece Theater. Please like, comment, follow, and subscribe. Also, please consider donating to our Patreon to help the channel grow. Patreon patrons receive additional bonus episodes, so there's that too. This is all possible because of your support. Thank you.